Welcome back to what will be part 2 of our series exploring the Dance of the Dragons, the infamous Targaryen civil war as explained in the books Fire and Blood and The World of Ice and Fire. In part 1, we discussed the Great Council of 101 AC and its importance as the event that one faction of the civil war would use to justify their actions. Today, we will be talking about the formation of the two factions of the dance, known as the Greens and the Blacks. We'll also talk about some of the key players on both sides and the years leading up to the Civil War. After the death of King Jaehaerys in 103 AC, Viserys became king. King Viserys I Targaryen had 3 children by his first queen, Aemma Arryn, but only one, Princess Rhaenyra, survived to adulthood. While in labor, Queen Aemma would die giving birth to Viserys' third child, a son he named Balon after his father, but Balon would also die, a day after his mother. Lacking a son to succeed him, Viserys began to train Rhaenyra to be his heir. The princess became his royal cupbearer at the age of 8 and was always by her father's side at feasts, balls, and tourneys. Rhaenyra was dubbed the realm's delight. While Viserys did have a brother in Daemon who could succeed him, Viserys chose not to make him his heir as Daemon was unpredictable, hot-tempered, and quick to take offense. Young Rhaenyra was included in discussions of the affairs of state and was allowed to participate in meetings of the small council. Many of the nobles took note, and Rhaenyra soon acquired a clique of adherents and supporters. After the passing of Queen Aemma in 105 AC, Viserys named Rhaenyra his heir, and hundreds of lords and landed knights paid obeisance to her. Viserys' decision would disregard the precedents from 92 AC and 101 AC set by King Jaehaerys. Viserys would go on to marry his hand, Otto Hightower's 18-year-old daughter Alicent in 106 AC and have 4 more children, Aegon, Helena, Aemond, and Daeron. While Rhaenyra and Alicent got on well at first, that changed after the birth of Aegon in 107 AC. Prince Daemon Targaryen, when he was told about his brother's marriage, reportedly whipped the messenger who brought the news nearly to death. Daemon would then join with House Velaryon to wage war for control of the Stepstones against the Triarchy, which was an alliance of the 3 free cities of Myr, Lys, and Tyrosh. In 111 AC, a great tourney was held at King's Landing on the 5th anniversary of Viserys' marriage to Alicent. During the opening feast, Queen Alicent wore a green gown, while Princess Rhaenyra dressed in the red and black of House Targaryen. Note was taken, and thereafter it became the custom to refer to greens and blacks when talking of the Queen's party and the party of the princess respectively. Wearing Rhaenyra's favor, Sir Criston Cole of the Kingsguard unhorsed all of Alicent's champions in the tourney, including 2 of her cousins and her youngest brother, Sir Gawain Hightower. Viserys strengthened Rhaenyra's place in the succession by marrying her in a 114 AC to Ser Laenor Velaryon, who had Targaryen blood through his mother, Princess Rhaenys. The marriage caused a falling out between Rhaenyra and Criston. Rhaenyra gave birth to 3 sons, Jacaerys, Lucerys, and Joffrey Velaryon, during her marriage, although there were rumors that the father of these princes was not Laenor, but Sir Harwin Strong, as the boys lacked the silver hair of their Targaryen parents, and instead had brown hair. In 114 AC, Sir Criston attended the wedding of Rhaenyra to Laenor, which included 7 days of feasting and jousting. He fought with Queen Alicent Hightower's token, and during a melee left Harwin with a broken collarbone and shattered elbow, prompting the fool Mushroom to call him Broken Bones thereafter. Criston's Morning Star also cracked the helm of Laenor's favorite, Sir Joffrey Lonmouth, which the Knight of Kisses died from 6 days later. While many were angered at Criston for this, including King Viserys, Queen Alicent did not share their displeasure, and asked that he be made her personal sworn shield. Criston became a staunch supporter of Alicent and a member of the Greens ever after. After his wife, Rhea Royce, died in 115 AC, Daemon Targaryen abandoned the Stepstones and attempted to claim Runestone in the Vale of Arryn, but was rejected by House Royce. Seeking a new alliance, he traveled to Driftmark and proposed to Laena Velaryon, the daughter of his friend Lord Corlys Velaryon. Despite Laena being betrothed to a Braavosi noble, Daemon killed him in a duel to win her hand. The marriage, made without King Viserys' consent, led Daemon and Laena to travel the free cities before returning to Pentos, where their twin daughters, Baela and Rhaena, were born in 116 AC. When the twins were 6 months old, the family returned to Driftmark, and though initially opposed, King Viserys granted Daemon's request to present his daughters at court, allowing a marriage alliance with his daughter Rhaenyra's sons. Tragically, Laena died in 120 AC while giving birth to a stillborn son. Also in 120 AC, Laena's brother Laenor was slain by his friend Sir Carl Quarry while attending a fair at Spicetown. The merchants present reported that the two men had been quarreling loudly before the blades had come out. Septon Eustace insists that Carl had killed Laenor out of jealousy, believing that Laenor had become enamored of a new, younger male favorite. According to Mushroom, Carl had killed Laenor on behalf of Prince Daemon Targaryen. Although there was no shred of proof for this, Laenor's body was collected by his father, Lord Corlys, who offered a reward of 10,000 golden dragons for anyone who could lead him to Sir Quarrel, or bring Sir Quarrel to him. However, Corey was never seen again. Ser Laenor Velaryon died in 120 AC when his son Jaehaerys was 6 years old, and King Viserys Targaryen visited High Tide on Driftmark with his family for the funeral. Prince Aemond Targaryen claimed Vhagar, the eldest and largest of the dragons, but was caught by Jaehaerys' younger brother Joffrey. Aemond mocked his 3 nephews as strong boys, alluding to the insinuation they had been fathered by Sir Harwin Strong, and the 4 boys fought. When Aemond gained the upper hand against Jaehaerys, Lucerys took out Aemond's right eye with his dagger. King Viserys decreed afterward that anyone who mocked his grandsons as Strongs again would have their tongues pulled out with hot pincers. Further, Rhaenyra and her sons were to stay at Dragonstone while Alicent and her sons returned to King's Landing. Criston Cole tutored Prince Aemond Targaryen to be a skilled swordsman despite Aemond's one eye. Later in that year, Jaehaerys' widowed mother, Rhaenyra Targaryen, married her uncle, Prince Daemon Targaryen. Jace's half-brother, Aegon, was born at the end of the year, followed by Viserys in 122 AC. Unlike their Valyrian half-brothers, Rhaenyra's younger sons looked entirely Targaryen. In 126 AC, Jaehaerys' grandfather, Lord Corlys Velaryon, became ill. The question of who would succeed him as the Lord of the Tides and Master of Driftmark became a debate, as his children, Laenor and Laena, were dead, and Laenor's eldest son, Jaehaerys, would eventually succeed his other grandfather and mother to the Iron Throne. Rhaenyra urged Corlys to name her second son Lucerys as his heir, but Corlys's eldest nephew, Sir Vaemond Velaryon, protested on the grounds that Rhaenyra's Valyrian sons were not Laenor's, but the bastards of Harwin Strong. Rhaenyra had her husband seize Vaemond and strike off his head, and fed the body to her dragon Syrax. Vaemond's 5 cousins fled to King's Landing with Vaemond's wife and sons, Damian and Daeron Velaryon, to seek justice before the king. Viserys heard them out, but ordered each of the cousins' tongues to be removed when they called Rhaenyra's sons bastards. Viserys' hand became infected after cutting it on the throne, and it was feared that he might die. On the first day of 127 AC, the king held a feast to celebrate the return of his health, and Rhaenyra and Alicent made a show of amity and love. However, after the king left the feast, Aemond toasted his 3 Valyrian nephews, speaking in mock admiration of their brown hair, brown eyes, and strength, calling them 3 strong boys. Later in the evening, Aegon took offense when Jaehaerys asked his wife Helaena Targaryen for a dance, but the Kingsguard prevented them from fighting. The relationship between Rhaenyra and Alicent declined early in Alicent's marriage to Viserys, since both ladies had been trying to be the realm's first lady, and there could only be one. As a consequence of their bad relation, Alicent's sons did not take to Rhaenyra's sons. Alicent's father, Sir Otto Hightower, had also disliked Rhaenyra's second husband, Prince Daemon, since the beginning of Viserys' reign. And that wraps up our look at the formation of the Greens and the Blacks and the years leading up to the Civil War. Be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next part of our series.